true, and that's okay. It's just the way they're designed. Speaking of deception, next slide is the first time you get into a girl's phone, what surprised you most? And this is what really shocks people. And I always find it interesting when you talk to guys that have like finally, they either got into their girlfriend's phone or a friend will let them in and take a look. Hey, look at how many matches I have. You know, they have like 6,000 matches on a dating app. This is normal. All of these things are normal. None of this is an outlier. What you will most commonly be shocked by is the sheer number of dudes in the phone. It'll be orbiters, direct messages, dating apps, WhatsApp, anything that's encrypted, anything, Snapchat, anything that the messages or pictures especially can disappear will be very popular. You'll be shocked at the amount of communication. Girls love it. It's physically satisfying. It's like a guy, like after you run, you know, like a mile for a record time, you're like a runner's high. That's the type of emotional and physical high girls get from social interaction. The number of dudes in their phone, the number of dating app matches go into the thousands, tens of thousands. Again, that's why I tell guys, when a girl shows up to and meets you off of an app, she's filtered you down to maybe 2 or 3 guys out of 10,000. There's a very high probability she will fuck you that night if you don't talk her out of it. You have to remember, she's in front of you at a bar at 8 o'clock at night off of a dating app. She's down to fuck unless you talk her out of it. And guys do it all the time. She shows up and you go, what do you want to do? So have a plan and close the deal. That's what she's there for. Simp guys texting. Again, guys, I mean, when you see how guys text, you're like, oh my God. And it's not our problem to fix, but most men are extremely beta, extremely simping, and they are chasing and, oh, I want to take you out to dinner, and do you need this? And that's why you don't have to really give girls that like you don't have to give them much, because other men are more than available and can provide. So men's shitty text game, you will be shocked. And you can kind of get a glimpse of it, you know, online, like in Instagram or even on Facebook. Like a girl puts up just an innocuous picture where she doesn't look like absolute dog shit, and you'll have 80, 800 comments about how beautiful she is. She doesn't need to hear it from you. That's why guys that know how to run game basically contact, text a little bit of sexy banner, flirty banner, logistics, and then you get them in front of you. Get them in front of you. None of this stuff matters online, DMs, or texting. In front of you is the only thing, because you can't fuck her over the phone. So you have to get her in front of you. Her dick pic folder, you're going to see how many of these guys send dick pics. It's just bad form. The number of nudes you've never seen before, you're like, I never saw this. And again, girls will have a folder of their best nudes because they're sending them to multiple men. I mean, they'll only take so many. You think it's spontaneous and all that, but it's her best shots. And she uses them over and over. Again, it's kind of like in marketing. It's new to him. So her and her girlfriends being sluts, again, you will, girls most often, they don't necessarily don't want you in their phone because of anything that I've just talked about. What they don't want you to do is see how they've talked about you or some dude that they fucked yesterday that you don't know about to their friends. That's why most girls, they're like, what did I say? What did I say to her? What did I tell her? And that's what they don't want you to see, you know. And then her and her girlfriends being sluts. And then what surprised you? Again, in the comments, whatever you came across, or if you came across, you know, you can always let us know, like, what was the biggest shock when you went into her phone. But again, most of the time, the biggest shock is literally the sheer volume, because girls are so naturally adept at hiding men from each other. They don't talk about their ex-boyfriends. They don't talk about their current other dudes that they're fucking. They don't talk about that's 10,000 men in their phone. They don't even talk about their dad, their brother, their uncle. They've seen guys react badly. Guys are like hardwired to react badly to any mention of other men by a lot of women. And they're like, they like freak out. So girls learn to avoid this by never bringing up other men. Then you see her phone. She's like literally talking to other men 23 and a half hours a day. Anytime she's not with you, she's actually having some type of communication with other men. And you only know this once she asks for exclusivity and you go into her phone, you're like, unless she's cleaned it up, and you'll see that too. But again, don't expect this. It's normal. These are normal things. So these are the normal things that you'll run across when you get into a girl's phone that will shock you. But after a while, you're very much, oh, okay, this is how girls behave.